Hello everybody, my name is Isheba Cornwall and I am one of the social media brand ambassadors for the United States Embassy here in Kingston, Jamaica, and guess what? I am with the lovely Terri Reed. Oh no, I don't know. TEDx speaker, event host, podcaster. You are a Jamaican girl, of course. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for that introduction. I appreciate it.
Oh my God, it is amazing seeing you here today actually. Before we get started, I just want everybody to know that I do a vision board every year.
Yes.
Your picture is on my vision board. I'm supposed to have an interview with you on my vision board. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but it's happening today.
Wow.
It is happening
Talk
today.
about manifesting. I was literally going to ask, okay, what capacity? That's fantastic. All right, well,
Awesome.
what you want to ask?
I just want to know a little bit about you. In about 60 seconds, tell us about 4 things. Fine, 4 things about yourself.
4 things?
Yes.
60 seconds?
Yes.
That people don't
know. And
go. People don't know that I'm an introvert, although people see me on a lot of stages. I am an introvert. Absolutely love reading books. Hate when the shower curtain comes back on me. I absolutely hate that. And number 4, always want to be a ballerina, wanted to be an actual professional dancer.
Nice, love that. You're here today at the Women's History Conference for the U.S. Embassy, and I loved your speech, by the way. I loved how real you were and how authentic you were. How important is it for you as a woman to be a part of initiatives like this and to help in actually bigging up young women in Jamaica?
I think it is a civic duty, actually. I don't think it is something that we should wonder if we should. I think every single woman, especially if we've had the opportunity of experiencing great work experiences, we've got the exposure, we are now successful. I think you kind of have to send down that proverbial elevator. We have to understand that as women, we're all connected and we have very relatable experiences. We may not have the same background, we may not come from the same, economic, social, or political standpoints. But as women, if you sit in a group of women and you have conversations, you realize that there's just so many similarities when you go around the room. We also understand the challenges that we experience as women. So I think when you have an initiative like this that targets girls, young women who come from vulnerable communities or vulnerable households, then it is your duty to now come and say, okay, I get your challenges, but I'm not here to judge you. You are not defined by these challenges. In what capacity, in what way can I impart some knowledge that can help shift, whether it is your mindset, whether it's your attitude, whether it's your approach, or how you view yourself. I think it is important for all of us to become involved in initiatives like this.
Absolutely love that. What I want to know from you, you have such an amazing community, by the way, especially I want you to just big up your community.
Big up the TK tribe! Yes, I do.
I don't know, it's your authenticity for me, always, but how have you created that online community? Like, how did that start?
So I think you have to be intentional, right? When we're in high school, there's a lot of intention about what we want to be. What school do we want to go to, university, college, what kind of job or industry or field do we see ourselves in? And outside of that, we're not necessarily as intentional with maybe the kinds of friends we want to keep, the kind of partners we want to attract, the kinds of communities that we want to grow. As social media, mushrooms, you find that people care more about being popular. We care more about the hype and the amount of followers, and we think because of the size of the community, it means that things are gone. For me, it's like, I don't care to be popular. I don't care to be followed by millions of people. I want the right kind of people. I want the kind of community that reflects my values, reflects the principles, and it's not that we're all like-minded. I don't want people to be a part of my community. I don't want us to be like-minded. I want us to be like-valued. So be diverse, be different. Come to the table, come to the comment section, the chat section, and let us talk about different things. But at the end of the day, we must do it respectfully. We must do it in a way that honors everybody who's a part of the space. The space must not be one where you feel judged. And so because I make it very clear that those are the things I represent, I manage to attract that kind of community.
Absolutely love that. No, I love it, and I am a part of your community, of course. I know you went live the other day. I was on live from start to finish.
Yeah, I'm intentional and I protect my community.
Yes.
So, and that's why I often say I'm a community builder and I'm not an influencer. When we say influencer now, people think that because you have a large community, people pay you, you know, show products and that's it. For me, it's like, no, I protect my community at all costs. And although there are people who want access to it, if I don't think it is something that would be of value or an asset to them, then the answer is just absolutely no.
I did remember at one point you said that, look here, a lot of the times you see me come online and showing you certain products, it's not because somebody paid me to do it, it's because I've tried the product before, it works, it's of quality, and I'm sharing this with you.
Tried, tested, proven. I understand that they trust me. I understand right now if I go to my community and I say, hey, XYZ, they will not question me because of my credibility and my integrity. Them two things there, I am not playing with. And so because I do everything that is in my power to maintain that level of trust with my community.
Absolutely love that. All right, so recently you posted on Instagram.
Yes.
And I quote, my favorite words are boundaries,
Yes.
Consent,
Yes.
no, respect, and love.
Yes.
Tell us why those words.
I think, especially if we're speaking in the context of people, but if we were to drill down and speak about women, and we look at how we're socialized and our culture has a huge deal in terms of how we grow as women. In our culture, we take everything very lightly. There are microaggressions, you know, people pass their place all the time in the name of culture. People say things that are absolutely inappropriate in the name of, oh, that's just how we're grown. And so I think that there has to be a little bit more of emphasis on boundaries. Boundaries are healthy. It is healthy for me to set up boundaries, and it's healthy for you to respect those boundaries. And if you can't respect those boundaries, then I understand that you and I are not aligned. No, one of my favorite words. We have to learn to exercise no. Will it disappoint some people? Sure. Will it ruffle some feathers? Sure. But no is absolutely important when it comes to self-preservation and self-care and sticking to what you know you need to stick to. So when I looked at the words like respect, love, no, boundaries, consent, all of them are centered around being autonomous and having people around you who love you enough to respect your no's, your consent, your permission. In fact, they anticipate and expect it.
I'd love to know from you, like just segueing into having the confidence to say no, because it's not all the time you can say no, it's not going to be easy. What does confidence mean to you as Terri currently?
It's never easy. You're not taught to say no. You're taught to say yes. You're taught to please. You're taught to be friendly, be a team player, be nice, smile a lot. You gotta be agreeable. Those are all terms that we are taught to have label us. And so if you say no a lot, that goes against everything that you're taught. I think where the confidence comes is understanding that I have lived to see where even if I say no, I don't lose an opportunity. In fact, more opportunities come because I turned down that one. When I say no, I can't participate because this does not align. People respect you more. So people feel because they say no, they will lose. And I'm here to say, when you say no, or you exercise your right to say no, you'll be surprised to know how more doors, more windows open, and you start to attract the right kinds of opportunities. And so my confidence comes from the fact that when you say no, you realize life goes on, the work still gets done, and you still move on. And so each time I get those kinds of results, it builds my confidence to keep on exercising my no when I absolutely have to.
Absolutely love that. You're going to hear me say absolutely love that because I absolutely love everything you're saying. And it makes sense. You're not talking foolishness.
No, so the thing is that I think what people need to understand is when you are good at what you do, and it's going to attract a lot of attention from people who are well-meaning, well-intentioned, and people who aren't. And the thing is that when you are of value and everything about you, radiates this light and this energy, you're going to attract a lot of people. And if you're not able to filter, if you're not able to step outside of yourself and say, wait, hold up, Is this useful? Is that useful? Is this the right thing for me? If you can't do that, then you do yourself no service.
So how important is it to show your daughter that the sky is no longer the limit and she can do anything she puts her mind to?
Right. Well, it's interesting that you mentioned her. Motherhood is a huge part of me, right? Sometimes I tell persons that even though they see me operating and functioning in different capacities, whether it's hosting or speaking, that's not a 24/7 job.
Right.
Motherhood is a 24/7 job, and so it has been important for me to integrate her with this new way of work. She's been exposed, thankfully, to the fact that mommy is working, mommy has dreams, mommy has goals, and guess what? She's going to go for it. She's not going to listen to what other people might say, what detractors might say, and I know that she's watching me. I know that it's not enough to just say, Naima, do this, Naima, do that. It's more important for her to see me show up, for her to see me being punctual, for her to see me operating in my gift, for her to see me researching. The thing is, I think as parents, what we sometimes do is we separate children from who we are. So we separate them, carry them to their room, they do their homework, but we don't actually talk to them or show them what work looks like.
Right.
And so for me, it was important for me that she sees that she's a part of it. And so I find that it helps with her maturity, it helps with her mindfulness and her thoughtfulness in terms of the world of work and just being your authentic self in whichever role you put yourself in.
I was listening to a TED Talk the other day, speaking to a TEDx speaker. But I was listening to a TED Talk and the individual was saying that a lot of times you want young people to do certain things, but they aren't surrounded by people who they see doing it. How are they going to do it if they don't see it?
I say it all the time, and even the conversations that we have with them. If you're having conversations is one thing, but you have to actually pair everything where they actually get to see it. So I can't tell her be on time, but then she sees me late.
Right.
I can't tell her show up and give 100% to everything you do if mommy is basic or mediocre. And so it's important for me that my words and my actions are congruent. That when she sees me, she understands that there is no double standard and there's no contradiction that is taking place. And I am honest. I don't try to be all superhero, nothing breaks me, everything is perfect. I don't have that relationship with her. So she understands you can have your highs, your lows, but you have to figure it out and you have to push through.
I really hope, that the parents who are listening to this really, take a page out of your book. Because maybe sometimes they don't know, and that's fine. But you're hearing it now. So
it works for me. It works for me, definitely.
Yes, I love that. So we're jumping into more rapid fire kind of questions. Like very, very simply now. But
should I be worried?
You'll be fine. For you, when you walk into a room, everybody can tell that TK Reid is here.
Wow.
So I want to know from you, in your opinion, which color do you think describes the type of person you are?
Oh, it's definitely red.
Red, really?
It's red.
You know what? You don't said yellow? I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess you would have thought yellow because it's sunshiny. It's very energy, eccentric. But red is fiery. Red is saucy. Red is bright. Red is life. Red is blood. And I think that's the type of person I am. I am very fiery. I'm very saucy. I'm very fierce. I'm relentless with things that I absolutely love. And so if I had to describe it, I'd say red.
So red is correct.
My sign is also, I'm a red sign. I'm a fire sign as well. So yeah.
But what is the biggest lesson you've learned so far in life?
The absolute biggest lesson that I've learned in life is that it all comes down to you. It's everything. It's your perspective. It's your mindset, your attitude, your approach. It comes down to you. So don't displace blame. Some of us are at disadvantages. Nobody knows say no. But at the end of the day, we literally have the choice of whether we choose to level up and try our best to be better, or if we sit and blame someone else. So I think that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned. At the end of the day, it's my choice.
I love that you're able to actually pinpoint because I know you have a lot of lessons, but it's interesting that you could pinpoint that, this one is the biggest.
It's the biggest, and because life throws a lot of curveballs, and we're gonna try to depend and rely on people around us to help guide us, which is okay. But even they sometimes are not the ones, because they can't sometimes understand our vision or our calling or our purpose, and therefore it has to come back to you. You have to still be able to figure out, who do I listen to? Who do I give audience to? Who do I give access to? At the end of the day, the decision comes back to you.
You want to say I preach?
May I preach? Yeah, I'm past the offering. But that's what I believe. That's what I believe.
Do you like music?
Love music. Can't sing. Cannot sing. But love music, love what it represents, and love how it makes me feel.
Which song were you listening to when you were on your way here?
You know, I wasn't listening to anything. Normally, I'm listening to an audio book because I love to read. And if I'm on the road, I will listen to an audio book. But what I can tell you is that you will often find me listening to neo soul. Love my Erykah Badu, my Lauryn Hill. Yeah man, I'm an 80s babe. So that's my soul. Yeah, and I listen to my Chronics and my Protege, my Savannah, my Lila Ike. Like, that's the roots rock reggae that you will probably always find me listening to.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Now, if you could sit down with anybody, it's going to be anybody dead or alive. Who would it be?
This is such hard.
I know it's gonna be hard, but you got this. You always got it.
Oh, this is a hard quest. Can I cheat and choose like 1 million one thing?
Sure, I'll give you that.
It's still hard. Okay, if I could sit down with one person, male, funny enough, it would Malcolm Gladwell, which is going to be very rare because I don't choose anybody, but I choose Malcolm Gladwell. But I think what I love about Malcolm Gladwell, who is one of my favorite authors, is the depth of his research. I think in a day, at a period of time where everything is just so microwavable, people don't want to read, people don't want to dive deep, or people don't want to see the meaning behind the meaning. We take everything at face value and everything is just short and microwave. Malcolm Gladwell is saying, ask questions, challenge, connect the dots. What doesn't sound real? Put it together. He comes up with these concepts. It's thought-provoking, and I want to know what a man like that, what does he do? What allows him to do what he does so well? I find it intriguing, and I would sit down with him. This one is going to sound very cliche. Oh gosh, I've forgotten her name. Oh my goodness, she's fighting female gender mutilation, and she wrote this fantastic book called The Cut. I would actually sit down with her, try to find the names in a while. But the fact that she took something that is societal, cultural, and social that affects girls, and she's now using her platform to ensure that girls do not experience what she experiences. I'd probably love to interview her, for sure. Your son? I'm gonna get the name, you guys, I promise. With those two people. And I know people expect Oprah, or they expect Nelson Mandela, or people like that, but I just want to get into the minds of persons who really impacted me on a very personal level.
Alright.
Trevor Noah gets an honorable mention.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Hi. No, I think he's fantastic.
What do you love about Trevor?
I think Trevor Noah does a great job at mixing current affairs, which can be very heavy and very daunting, and with such intellect and humor and wit, he's able to storytell and to break down very hard topics in very digestible pieces. I think he's objective, I think he is fair, and I love what he does. Yeah, he's an honorable mention. I cheated on that question, for sure.
we'll give you the pass. I definitely do love Trevor.
Yeah.
I love his content.
He stands out to me.
Yeah. For you, and this is the last question I have for you.
Oh man, we're just having fun.
Yes. But what advice do you have, or would you give rather your younger self? So the young that you can read, sitting down, you're facing yourself right now, you're looking at her, seeing your younger self. What are you gonna tell her?
I would tell her, don't worry. don't change a thing. Don't alter a thing. The things that people tell you no, it's not because they necessarily hate you, but it's because they either don't understand or love themselves. Don't carry it with you. Shed it. Keep being nice. Keep being you. Trust me, it all works out in the end. That's what I would tell her. That's what I would tell her. When you're younger, people say things and do things to you, and because you don't have the understanding, you carry it. And a lot of the times you think that there's something wrong with you, and then you kind of learn that, no, it's gonna happen. You're not special. It happens to other people, but it's how you deal with it. And I think I was lucky enough to have a mom and a grandmother who really helped to shape and mold me. And because of that, I was able to navigate toxic environments to be who I am today. So I tell her, don't worry, you're gonna see everything's gonna be fine. Don't change a thing.
Absolutely not. I knew you were waiting for that. Look here, I want to thank you. Thank you so much. My eyes are a bit watery because what you just said really resonated with me, and I'm seeing myself and what I am going through in my current life through what you just said. You get me? But I appreciate your authenticity. I appreciate how real you continue to be. I appreciate you using your platform to empower people for the better, for the good.
Thank you.
And I want to tell you to continue doing that. Don't stop.
I won't.
Don't stop at all.
Thank you. And for you, you are a rising star. You have amazing personality. You have this energy about you, and it's very clear that you want the same thing. You want to be an agent of change in a way that is true to you, that is authentic to you, that is manageable to you. And you're going to meet people who do not understand it, and it's not for you to always try to explain to other people. And there will be people whose whole attitude and posture is not to understand you. And so you kind of have to just know within yourself that if this is your calling and you really love it, full speed ahead. And the persons who are supposed to be in your life to help guide you, mentor you, shape you, they will be there. And the ones who aren't, they usually drop like flies. And at the end of the day, you'll still be okay. You'll be okay. You're fine.
Thank you very much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Terri Reed, TEDx speaker, event host, connector of dots, podcaster, everything. I want to thank you so much again for just having this chat with me. Really, really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, and I wish you all the best as you branch off and you get your abundance in the territories you want. When they come and when the opportunities come, may you accept them. You want to tell yourself, say, boy, it shouldn't be me, but I'm not qualified. Really, but I don't really belong here. You belong here. And that's why you get the opportunity. Can't wait to see.
Thank you so much for tuning in.